everybody. How's it going? I know I'm doing pretty good. Um, this is me just doing another quick update for Nanowrimo. Um, because I can. Anyway, um, let's see here. Where am I at? Well, I'm learning lots of lessons. Like I said, the reason why I was doing Nanowrimo in the first place was to try and establish a writing pattern, and also to be able to practice writing every day, and create a sustainable writing practice. I'm going to be saying this all throughout the month. Um, and funny story is that today I did the math, and for me to passively, and by I say passively, I mean without thinking about it comfortably, I can handwrite about between 250 to 300 words per day, and that's just and not pushing myself at all. And that's handwritten. So that does not translate to very much writing, and certainly not where I'd like to be. So I was kind of thinking to myself, okay, well, where do what does that mean for me? And I'm taking a look at how I normally do things, and I find myself to be very project oriented, which means that I take a project and I work on that project until it's done, and then I go on to another project. Or if I get stuck in the middle of a project, I'll jump to another project. But I'm in that zone, I'm doing that project. And I think that's going to hold true for writing. Um, what I what I see for my plan for writing is to do that do that 250 to 300 every day regardless. That's just sort of baseline no matter what. And then and then when I have a project that I'm working on, that I'm trying to work towards an end goal, then that will be kind of like my push month, where I'm just focusing on that, and then I can see my maximums there. um Having said that, means that it means that yay, I've got it, and I'm kind of seeing more about what my planning, how I can plan my writing better. So that was pretty huge. Came across that. Then on the cool story side, well, yeah, I learned the valuable lesson about making sure that I read through the whole entire thing. Well, not the whole entire thing, but a good chunk of what I'd written before going into writing for the next piece of whatever I'm writing. Mostly because what I did was I thought, oh, I'm going to just read the last paragraph. That'll be fine. And I forgot to include a really important piece. So then I had to go back, and I ended up writing this other piece that comes before another part of the story. So I'm writing completely out of order, which is not me. I like to have, I write chronologically usually. So this was uncomfortable and awkward, and it's now becoming a Franken story where I'm just going to write bits and pieces that I know of. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with the way the story's turning out. Wasn't expecting it to go this way. It's got a lot more intrigue than I was expecting. I didn't know what I was expecting, but it's gotten way better. Um, yes, this is me. It was me completely pantsing this, which was not at all what I intended either, because I wanted to have nice little story structure for everything. But I think this is actually good for me because I needed to play around with how all these pieces go and see whether or not I can fit all these little mini stories within my overarching first episode. And clearly not. It's going to be the first chapter esque thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it, because they aren't going to be very long. These aren't going to be very long stories at all. They're going to be maybe, I don't know, might round out to maybe, well, we'll see. Because if I finish this off partway through partway through November, then I know that it'll be less than, because all the things I've written have been for this story, which is Sword of Justice. I'm just gonna call it chapter one because that's what I'm working in. I'm working within the first chapter, and so far that's all I've been doing is just writing this. I have other projects I could be working on, and I'm just working on this one. Mostly because I mean, the basic premise is a wizard meets a street urchin, and the street urchin becomes his apprentice, and that's how it starts off. And that's the first chapter is dealing with that. It gets glossed over a bit, which is why I wanted to write the story to be able to like round it out more, give it a little more interplay between the two characters, so you can kind of see them developing as apprentice and teacher more. But yeah, and so as I've been going along, I've also been putting in sticky notes about questions where I've left off in the story, notes for myself, and then questions I still need to answer in the story, and where the story is going. So I'll probably be having to refer to more sticky notes because I have more sticky notes in previous parts. So that's a new thing. And then after all this is done, then I get to put it into Scrivener, which it'll be its own thing, but it'll be interesting. And yesterday I came across I was kind of worried. I'm thinking to myself, I took this with me to, I was having a bath last night, and I was like, maybe I'll try writing while I'm in the bathtub, because I might come across an idea. So I wanted to at least have it nearby so I could write down ideas for the story. And well, then I thought to myself, okay, this is the only copy I have of the story. If it gets wet or like gets destroyed, that's all I have of this, and that will make me really, 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 really sad. So yeah, there's that is a new aspect I hadn't thought of when I was like doing all the freehand writing. But okay. Yeah. So my goal for tonight will be well, I'm gonna be continuing on the story. I don't know where it's ending. I really did not plan this out well. I thought I did at the time. I'm looking at myself now and going, what were you thinking? You weren't thinking anything. What you weren't you didn't even have a plan for winging it. I mean, sometimes when I'm winging it, I have like a minor plan when I'm winging it, and this is just me straight up winging it. There was nothing. I just sat down and started writing, which is good but bad because now if I get stuck, I don't have a way out of this. I just have to like write my way out, which usually involves dialogue. Whenever I get stuck, I just start talking. And what I'm really worried about this is that I'm worried about how rough this is, that it might be a zero draft or like a -1 draft, because it's definitely not what I would call a finished story. It's going to need a lot of work, and I'm worried about how much work this is going to need. Although, in saying that, I do have to type it into to the computer. So, in the process of typing, I hope that it becomes more cohesive and I'm able to like do spot edits while I'm writing it, while I'm putting it into the computer. That's part of it. Anyway, so now you know what I'm doing tonight. Will be more writing and seeing how much more I can progress with this. I I don't know how much more I can progress with this. I'm kind of excited to find out. And I would share with you some of it, but I don't know. I don't really have anything that's like, this is like, it starts in the beginning of the story, so I can't even like really explain. And also because part of it, I haven't named the town. the first town they come to. So I've just used the Welsh word for town, which is tre. Yeah, TRE, not just for French people. Yeah, that. So that's pretty much all I have for tonight. But I'll talk to all of you again really soon. Thanks for popping in. Uh, I don't know if you can like or subscribe. I'm talking to people who are on my YouTube. For YouTube, I'm not sure if you can like and subscribe to this. I don't know. um, Twitch, what can I say? Hi guys, I'm sorry I'm not reading the story, but I promise I'll be reading again real soon. Soon-ish. There'll be stories, and not just me talking about the stories, but actually reading them, because that's kind of my thing. I prefer to be a storyteller and not just a, well, yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.